Uh, just in case while teaching, if you guys have any questions, you have a hand raise option. So just press hand raise. I'll get a notification that okay, someone is asking, and I can give you guys chance to speak. So I can for example, is anyone like let I don't know. Let me just give Bhupendra a chance to speak, right? So Bhupendra, you can you just unmute your mic and you can speak. Bhupendra,
Yes, hello sir.
या ओके
क्या मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
हाँ जी आपकी आवाज आ
Can
रही
you
है
hear me?
सो all of you guys can you hear Bhupendra okay I guess like okay couple of people
Yes.
are yeah couple of that's more or less like I can invite anyone to speak if you guys have any questions just raise hand and I will give you chance to speak to ask the questions to me like throughout the so feel free okay sometimes it happens like I am in the middle of class and sometimes it gets quite disturbing if someone is continuously bugging the class so I might not give the chance but obviously I keep a note of everyone who is raising the hand and everyone is going to get the chance. So right now I'm just disabling Bhupendra from the call and if you guys have questions just feel free to ask. Okay, so Bhupendra has been disabled. Uh, about this cybersecurity course, obviously you guys know that this is a 10 class package of like kind of a free, and in this like we are going to cover up major topics of cybersecurity. Obviously, this entire course is not gonna take you to very in depth. For getting into in depth, we have a master's program as well. So I'll send you the link after the class you guys can go and check that particular link and also you guys can use the discount coupon for that master program so that's the first thing. The second thing is during this entire 10 day session, we will be giving you a couple of challenges to solve. Obviously, those challenges will be regarding solving some of the hacking. Sometimes you might have to hack Wi-Fi's or no, sorry, website through SQL injection attack, or you might have to hack, some, or you might have to get some flags, or you might have to, you know. decrypt anything right so different day different challenges will be there and to solve those challenges you might need help from other people so that's why I asked you guys to to form a group okay so if you guys have a group of 4 to 5 people it will be pretty much very easy for you guys to solve that the first section the first class that this one I is kind of like a very slow one because we are going to get into the background of cybersecurity we'll see about the different types of hacker we'll also go through the net what do I say we'll also go through um, uh, um, the history of hacking okay and all those and those things okay so slowly and slowly we will modify ourselves and you will start working on that okay so that is more or less how it is going to be and we'll also show you uh, um, about Kali Linux. Obviously, I'm not sure how many of you know Kali Linux, but Kali Linux is basically an operating system where you have all the softwares that is being softwares, scripts, everything that you really need uh, to do hacking. It is already present in that Kali Linux. So that is more or less like it. Okay. So let's just not waste any more time and let's start the class then. Okay, so I'm just recording the class as well. Okay, um, just in case if I just feel like to release. Obviously, these recordings are available for all the masters, all the students who have enrolled in the masters program, the nano cybersecurity nano degree program. for them all these recordings are available. I'm not sure if the authority, like the content team, is gonna allow for this recording to go past, but let's see how it happens. um, So I was actually, I was going through a couple of news in past couple of days, and I came across a couple of news. Like, one of the news was from 30th of September that Chinese APT group targets media, finance, and electronic sectors. You guys already know like what is the condition of the China right now. They're just targeting different groups, and they have actually created a group of hackers, and those hacker groups are state-sponsored hackers, which are targeting various groups and sectors, like whether it's in a media sector, it's a finance sector, electronic sector, I would say IT sector, so those kind of thing. uh, and there was news about Firefox, that there was a bug in Firefox for Android, where hacker was able to hijack your browser if you guys were in a same Wi-Fi network. So, if, for example, if I'm sitting here and even in the same Wi-Fi, for example, Bhupendra is also there, and he's using his phone and obviously Firefox browser in his phone. So I can actually use this bug to exploit his phone and get all the data out of it. That is one thing. Now, a lot of you people might have heard about cryptocurrency. What is cryptocurrency? Bitcoin, like mostly about the bitcoins, Ethereum, and all those kind of thing. So, and these are the digital coins. Now, there was a time, like obviously, if you see about the cryptocurrency hacks, every year a lot of hacks actually happen, because a lot of money is involved, and these are the digital money. So for hackers, it's kind of a hacking directly into the bank, like you do in a that particular Netflix series. What's that? Yeah, Netflix is where the hacker and the group of people, they hack into Swiss account. I don't really know the name of it. If you guys know the name, just write down the name of that TV series. I forgot about that. So yeah, so hackers actually stole $5.4 million of crypto, ether base, from ether based cryptocurrency exchange. The next thing is, like we might have heard about a lot of ransomware, Trojan, virus. Okay, so Japan, France, New Zealand, they were warned of the they were actually warned of about sudden uptick in Trojan attacks. So this is one other different kind of Trojan attack that you know that keeps on happening. Okay, so a lot of kind of attacks and the ransomware keeps of gonna happen. Let's go on to types of hackers. So when we say about the hackers, there are various kinds of hackers. So how we how we classify them is based upon their skills or based upon their intentions. On and also, like what they actually are doing, like whether they really want to learn it, or they just want to just just get some knowledge from here and there, and just try to prove themselves, try to say, like oh yes, I'm a hacker and all this kind of thing. So something like that. Sorry for that. So based upon that, we have approximately seven kind of hackers category. So the first one is the script kiddie. Okay, these are called the noobs in hacking community. So what this script kiddie does is, they basically does not know, they don't have the in-depth idea about hacking. So what they really do is, they actually go to various, what do I say, various website, download some script, download some software, and with the use of this software, they kind of try to hack something. Okay, and maybe if you try like 40 or 50 or 100, and they just manage to hack something small, and then they call themselves a big hacker. They start posting things here and there and all those kind of thing. So they are called a script hacky kiddie. So while they are using those softwares, they don't even know like why those softwares are working, what those softwares are doing actually. For example, I have seen a lot of people using SQL map, or okay, SQL map is still better. There are a lot of people are using Haviz. So Haviz is a software by which you can hack a website if that website is as has an SQL injection vulnerability. Okay, but a lot of people, they don't know what is SQL injection vulnerability, so they download this software. They they just take that URL, they put the URL, click on hack, and then it will do automatic things and everything, and then all this data, username and passwords are are there. Okay, but they don't really know what is happening around, happening inside. So these kind of tools only work on, I would say, those super weak websites, okay, or half built website. They will never work in a very good website. Okay, or or even in the modern day. So those kind of tools actually doesn't even work. So if some website was made in 2012 and they have not updated their system, so maybe, yeah, these tools are effective enough, in order to hack them. White hat hackers are basically a good hackers. So what does white hat hackers does is, they are like, okay, you are bad hackers are hacking and everything. So white hat hackers try to create a defense. So you can say they are kind of a cyber cops. So they will create a defense. They will put some monitoring if any intruder is trying to hack or something, and then they start finding the logs. How did it happen? What are the vulnerable points, how we can fix those points. So these are the white hat hackers. They are like, just compare them with the police. Okay. uh, then there is a black hat hacker. Those are called the bad hackers. Again, with the name bad hackers, you guys know what does it mean, right? They're just criminals. So their whole intention is to harm someone, or some website or some digital asset. Get some data, private data out of it, make money off those private data, or ruin someone's life, do blackmails. So all those nefarious things, all those bad things are done by some skilled hackers. They are called the black hat hackers. So both white hat hacker, black hat hackers are skilled hackers. They're not like the script kiddies who does not know what is happening, and oh wow, I don't know what's happening. So no, white hat hacker, black hat hackers, they know their shit, they know what's happening, and they're actually working towards that. Now the next is gray hat hackers. So gray hat hackers are kind of, you can say, between white and black. So sometimes they can act as white hat hacker, sometimes they can act as a black hat hacker. So that's exactly what we call as gray hat hackers. Uh, and obviously, gray hat hackers are, again, they are the skilled hackers. Then we have green hat hackers, which most of you, I assume, are, because most of you are, I think, like, you guys are very new to this hacking world or the security world. So these are the green hat hackers are basically a newbie hacker, but they're actually using their entire heart, soul in actually learning the things. Okay, they're not just like script readers who will just download couple of things, type, or just press couple of uh, I don't say, like, mouse clicks, and they say, oh yes, hacking is done. No, it just happens on movies, or or with the script kiddies. Okay, they don't know, but I'm pretty sure most of you guys will be actually learning about the core knowledge, how those things are working. So those are basically a green hat hackers. Okay. Then we have a red hat hackers. So we call red hat hackers as a vigilante of hackers. What's this vigilante? Like, for example, I don't know. I'm not sure if you guys have seen this TV series called Arrow, or you have Batman, right? So what do they do? These guys do? They are basically, so for example, Batman, or Arrow, or these kind of superheroes. So they are not actually from police, they are not legal enforcement, they don't have legal rights, but they are trying to stop the bad people, right? In the same way, the red hat hackers are the person who attack black hat hackers, and they use the offensive way, or and they are very aggressive in their offensive way. Okay, so white hat hackers are kind of a defensive way. They don't really attack. So if someone is attacking you, okay, they will try to create their defense, try to make sure that their entire thing does not get hacked. And if something gets bad, they will inform the law enforcement agencies that okay, an hacking attempt has been placed, and these all things have happened. But unlike red hat hackers, no. Okay, they threw a stone, we are gonna shoot them with the bombs. So that's the attitude of red hat hackers. And obviously red hat hackers are again the skilled ones. Blue hat hacker. So blue hat basically, well, actually it came from the name. Like these blue hat hackers got famous with because of Microsoft. So these are the hackers, or you can say the security professionals, which are actually invited by some organizations like Microsoft or Google, or other organizations. So they are not the employees of the organization, but they are some skilled person who are being invited by these organizations to come and check their security, if their website is hackable or not. So they are like another way we can say the blue hat hackers are a form of white hat hackers. The only difference is that white hat hackers most of the time they work within the organization, while the blue hat hackers, they are actually invited by the organizations. But overall, they're working at the same. They follow principles. Now, coming back to job scenarios, because I guess most of you are into, college, or maybe in third year, fourth year, first year, second year. Okay, so you guys might want to know like, what if we take this kind of course, if we are creating our career in cybersecurity, what will happen to us in future? So I would say like it's a very and lucrative way of for I mean this cybersecurity domain is a very lucrative way. And if you guys are actually going to learn uh, cybersecurity, if you guys are going to practice cybersecurity, if you guys are going to practice a skill, then I'm pretty sure it's very easy for you guys to get job. Because right now you see a lot of developers are there. Everyone who goes into computer science, electronics, electrical, they know coding, right? And with the coding they know how to make software, they know how to make websites. But then cybersecurity is something very specialized, just like machine learning. And the best part about cybersecurity and the other fields of computer science is that in other fields, uh, the technology can get old, but in cybersecurity is here forever. So for example, if I go back to 8 or 10 years back, there was a technology like Java. We were using a lot of Java. We're losing a lot of PHP. But now the technology has shifted to mean or modern stack. Like more, you have Node, you have React, you have Angular. Okay, you use Laravel, right? Even if you are using PHP, you are using Django. If you are using Python, so a lot of technologies are there, right? But at the same time, if you see the cybersecurity is something, it has been at the same, like if you say like 10 years ago there was cybersecurity, even 10 years after there is still a cybersecurity. Obviously the skill level, you guys need to improve your skill level. But yeah, but this is here forever. And in the COVID-19 scenario, there we have seen that there was approximately uh, a huge amount of raise in cybersecurity jobs in India. So when a lot of people are commenting, okay, I am not getting jobs, I am jobless from 3 months, 4 months, or something like that. But if you see, on the other hand, that there are a lot of new cybersecurity jobs that are opening up, because a lot of people are using internet. A lot of hacking attempts has been made on internet. Every 2 or 3 seconds a new hacking attempt is made. And because of that, organizations are forced to hire more and more cybersecurity professionals to secure their environment. In India, like the 98% increase in cybersecurity jobs in India, that's one other article. There was an article in Tech Talent Crunch, Cybersecurity Talent Crunch, to create. 3.5 million unfilled jobs globally by 2021. So you see, like approximately 35 lakhs of job will be unfilled by 2021. And which is like, if you compare the growth, it's almost like 350% growth uh, from 2013 to 2021. Now let's talk about different branches of cybersecurity, and based upon that, we will be having different lectures on cybersecurity. So first one comes under the web security. Web security is like, when we say about the web security, the first thing that comes on our mind are the websites. So you are watching this video, or this class, by visiting a website called findmentor.com. Similarly, you are browsing something, you are visiting a website is there if you are going to use internet, right? And that's exactly why you need web security in place. So yeah, so web security is there, and based upon the web security has been divided into various other subcategories. Okay, they are like, based upon how the attacks happen, whether it happens on the database side, whether it happens on the back end side, whether it happens on the front end side. So based upon that, there are further subcategories. Obviously, during the web security class, there are two classes on web security. We will be going in depth on the web security, and at the same time we will try to hack couple of websites. Obviously those websites are have been created by us, or we'll be running them locally, or we'll be using couple of tools to create those environments. We'll show you that. The next come is the infrastructure security. Infrastructure security is like, when we talk about nowadays, like when we talk about infrastructure, so even the nuclear. So I will tell you, like, while I was in France, I had a chance to visit a nuclear power reactor nearby. And in that, I saw a lot of things were actually connected with the internet. Now just imagine if some hackers get inside one of the computers of nuclear, you know that nuclear power plant, they can actually sabotage the entire nuclear power plant. And now you know what happened when two bombs were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Just imagine, in current scenario, if any sabotage at that particular level happens, how it is going to happen, right? I mean, how devastating it would be. So infrastructure security again is a very valuable. Again, when we talk about infrastructure, a lot of things actually gets linked with the IoT security. I'll talk with the IoT security in a couple of minutes. Then we have we have like I would say, uh, okay, let me just, we have the cryptography. Okay, so basically cryptography is that part of the class where, of that part of the branches of cybersecurity where all the encryption decryption happens. So for example, if you want to say something to someone and you don't want the third person sitting beside, for example, I want to say, okay, let's meet at 4 o'clock in Delhi, for example, or in Rajghat, for example. And I don't want, the third person sitting beside me to know that I'm gonna meet him, or I have asked him to meet at 4 o'clock in Rajghat, right? So what I'm gonna do is I am gonna transmit my message to the other person in a very secretive way, right? I'm gonna kind of encrypt those message, or maybe just write someone something, and maybe put that message inside a box, and then lock the box, give that box, or I don't know how, but somewhere, or maybe just encrypt it, maybe change the word. Okay, so those kind of thing actually happens in cryptography. Okay, so you need to secure a message, what kind of message you are transmitting. um, Earlier days, wars were actually won. If you have watched this the movie on Enigma machine. Okay, I again forgot the name of that particular machine. Okay, so it was about how the cracking of the Enigma machine happened, and and that's exactly how they stopped the German army at that particular time. So yeah, so that's one way of looking into it, in cryptography. And now when we have That was an old method. Now we have more modern method. We use different decryption. It's like DES, we have AES, we have RSA, we have public private key encryption methods, we have, okay, so all those complex things. So cryptography requires a lot of mathematics, to be honest. So if you guys are very good at mathematics, you guys should actually take this opt for this particular branch of cyber security. OS security, again, it actually depends upon the operating system. So OS is like operating system. So right now I'm using a Windows operating system, or someone of you might be using Linux operating system. So OS operating system basically is is concerned about that. So if you want to hack someone's Windows machine, or if you want to hack someone's Linux machine, or even in Android, we use Android is basically, again, what an operating system, right? So even if you want to that hack into that particular operating system, you need to know about the various cores, how the kernel has been formed, what are the exploits available, what are the weak points in that operating system, how I can attack those weak points, and then get the information out of it, right? So those are called operating system security. Again, during the operating system security class, we are going to hack the Windows system. We will see how we can create a malware, how we can put the malware, and we'll also do a demonstration on when this malware are running, how we are getting all this information. You will be very shocked, to see all, that you are getting a snapshot. You can open a webcam. Okay, and the same thing we are going to do with the mobile phones as well. We are going to create a malware for mobile phones. We will hack a mobile phones. You can actually see the you can switch on the camera. You can even open their microphone and listen to what they are saying there. You can even do what, like, you can read their WhatsApp, you can read their Facebook messages, the notification that is coming on. Okay, you can take various screenshots and all those kind of things. So those things will be covered up there. Then we have network security. Network security, again, depends upon a network. Like, I'm connected with the Wi-Fi, and how I can hack a Wi-Fi, right? So, and a lot of you might have been seeing open hotspot is there. So if you manage to to get inside someone's network, how you can sniff others traffic. So in a Wi-Fi there can be, like, 4 or 5 people connecting a Wi-Fi, but how I can know what others are doing in that particular Wi-Fi, right? You will see all this information in network security. Or even if you want to hack any Wi-Fi, I will actually create a Wi-Fi environment here, and I will show you how we are actually hacking that particular security. I am not sure if, let me actually see that, because with Wi-Fi there will be a problem, that because when I'm trying to attack someone's Wi-Fi, I will actually will be getting disconnected from my Wi-Fi. So I'm not sure if I can show you, but even if I cannot show you, I will share a video with you guys on how you can attack the Wi-Fi, and during the live session you guys can ask me any questions regarding that. Okay, so that's the network security. We'll also do dual twin attack. Dual twin attack is like, sorry, evil twin attack. Evil twin attack is like creating a Wi-Fi with the same name. So for example, if I just show you, like, let me just show you. My Wi-Fi is day. Okay, and they're like, GABA house, GABA 2020 is there. So for example, if I want to hack GABA house, I don't know the password of GABA house, right? But what I can do is, I can actually go and you know create an open Wi-Fi network with the same name, GABA house. Okay, and I force, and to in order to connect to my GABA house which I have created. Okay, they don't really need to enter any password. Now what I'm gonna do is, I will do some things, and based upon that I'm going to decrease or overload the actual GABA house, so that it gets slow down, that Wi-Fi. And now when the Wi-Fi gets slowed down, what happens on a computer is that it kind of tries to disconnect and connect again, reconnect to them. So basically, I'm going to overload this Kaba house with a lot of packets. And then, once they get disconnected, what I'm going to do is I will try them. I'll force the users to connect to my GABA house, because the computer has stored, okay, I need to connect to GABA house. They don't have any other method to understand what I am supposed to get connected, right? So they will try to connect with my GABA house, and then once they are connected to my network, I can do a lot of things from there. So that's network security. Then we have cloud security. Nowadays, we talk about a lot of cloud. Then again, I have seen a lot of video when we say what is cloud. 'Cause they say like, oh yes, cloud is in air, and there are rains coming. No, no. In computing world, that's not cloud is. So cloud is basically so how does the cloud work basically, and what is the cloud, and how the infrastructure are designed. So right now, if I want to host my website, okay, I can do one thing is I can host my website on my laptop and stream those content, right? But it's not possible. I need to switch off my laptop. But if I switch off my laptop, the entire website is going to get down, right? So what we do is we kind of create some servers, maybe in AWS, maybe in Google Cloud, and all those kind of things, right? Where we rent a small system, okay, and those are the virtual computers that we rent, right? And in those computers, and those computers are actually switched on 24 into 7. You can, and then on those computers you actually store your content, and so so basically, those are not with you, but those are actually stored somewhere. And now these contents are not stored in air or something, okay. They have a particular data centers, okay. All these big companies like AWS, Google, they have very big data centers. They have where thousands and thousands of big hard drives are there. I don't know, like I didn't share. I don't have the images with me, but I can share the images with you guys. There are a lot of thousands of data, hard drives are there, and in those hard drives, your physical, the files that you were saving gets stored, right? And you access those drives, and via this web infrastructure, and that's exactly what we call a cloud infrastructure. Now cloud security is very important again, for various reasons, because everything right now, like you are storing your videos on YouTube, it's on a cloud. You are storing your website, it's again on a cloud, okay. Nowadays, like we are, for example, Apple, we say if you guys are using Apple, it's called Apple Cloud. You use Google Drive, it's cloud, right? So all these are the cloud infrastructure, and we really need to understand the cloud security again, and those things are there. But cloud security is not covered in this 10 class series. I'm gonna create a different course on cloud security, and I'll share it with you guys. The next thing is IoT security. IoTs are the devices like we have Alexa. Okay, we have so there are a lot of bulbs are there. You don't really need to go and switch off or on those bulbs. You can use your mobile devices to switch on or off those bulbs, or fans, or the AC. A lot of components are there, right? So just imagine, like your entire house is an IoT house, okay, and someone got into your network and hacked your bulb, or hacked, or maybe the gate, okay. The gate has this the locks which are IoT enabled lock, and somehow hackers hacked into your lock, so they can open the lock, they can lock you inside, or they can do a lot of things, okay. So those are IoT, secure. Those covers in IoT. Again, IoT security is not covered in this 10 class, section. Now let's give a small background about the history of cybersecurity. I know sometimes a lot of people find it very boring, okay, but I would say, like it's actually important that you guys know a bit about the security, the this security as well. about the history as well. Sorry. So basically, when we say about hacking or hackers, so those particular term actually came into existence in 1960s, and 1960s hacker was basically a positive term. So when people used to say hacker, they were considered, oh, this guy has got some skill in, and that guy is a technically advanced guy. Okay. And MI it this MIT artificial intelligence lab was the staging ground for hackers. So that's exactly the hackers started born hackers born from there. Now in 1970s, hackers started tampering with phone. You know, there was a it's a kind of a funny story that in 1940s you had this dial tone. I'm not sure if you guys remember that you have to move this circle and then you have to call someone, right? It was a landline phone, and the the silly part was that at that particular time, John Draper, he found out that you know uh, during there was a cereal, a Captain Crunch cereal, and they used to give you the whistle. Okay, and that when you make when whistle that whistle, it used to produce a sound at a frequency of 2600 hertz, and these frequencies were actually used to make long distance calls. Okay, so all you had to do is like pick up the phone, pick up that phone, and you just start whistling, and you can actually, if you whistle in the right direction, you can actually make long distance calls like the international calls. And international calls during those times were very expensive, and this was a time when phone freaking actually started. Okay, and also the time when Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, they first started the business on Blue Box. Then slowly, ARPA computer network started having some security violations, and a couple of RFCs were written. People started using. So most of the people at that particular time, even now, they had a habit of keeping their password as their first name, their initials, or maybe your name spelled backwards, or maybe a date of birth, something which is very easy to remember. And we hacker, for example, if I want to hack someone, my first objective would be to understand that person, right, and understand a bit about his personal information. That way I can actually make an assumption. Even if I have to make some wild guesses, I'm not just making some wild guesses out of nowhere. No, I'm still making an area where I'm supposed to make a wild guess. In 1980 and 81, there were two hacker groups, Loom, Legend of Doom, and Chaos of Computer Club. Those two hacker groups were formed. In 1983, a movie War Games introduced hackers to the public. 1986, German hackers, they actually hacked Berkeley laboratory system, and the information that they got, they tried to sell that information to KGB. I'm pretty sure you guys know what KGB is. uh, I don't want to fall into any kind of problem, so I'm not just elaborating what KGB is. Anyway, uh, so yeah, so and if you see how this particular hack was identified, because this Cliff Stall, he was basically a sysadmin at Lawrence Berkeley Laboratory System, and he was actually doing he was investigating about an accounting error, and the accounting error at that time was of just of 75 cents. Okay, so he found out that it was because of some CPU time discrepancy that actually happened, because of which there was an accounting system. Now he started out how it was happening. So he gained more and more, like how these CPU time got changed, or how these were modified, and then he slowly and slowly found out the intruder. Okay, and the investigation end with the arrest of Marcus Hess in Germany, who apparently worked for Eastern Bloc. This story you can read in the Cuckoo's Egg. That's one of the books. In 1988, a internet worm that was developed by Robert T. Morris, it brought down the internet. Okay, so the entire internet got turned off because of this worm, and and that was the time when the entire world they thought of, okay, now is the high time that we need to prepare some team which is going to monitor all these things. So then the CERT team actually came into existence. So CERT is like computer emergency response team. And in 1994, Kevin Mitnick attacks the supercomputer center in San Diego using a TCP spoofing attack. He was later arrested and was sentenced to 46 months in prison. Then he came out, he created his own security firm, and his firm is doing pretty good, I would say. So there are a lot of stories about Kevin Mitnick. If you go to our Find Me Mentor LinkedIn or sorry Instagram profile, and if you go back and if you scroll down and if you see, there is a story about Kevin Mitnick. Okay, and he's how he did it. Okay, so that's kind of a small stunning story. I would recommend you guys to go and read them. Now in when we a bit started, like we came into 1990s, a lot of things started happening, like the Operation Sun Devil happened, movie Sneakers, which introduced again hackers to public. DEF CON conference started happening. So DEF CON is kind of a biggest conference of cybersecurity. It's kind of a Makkah Medina of cybersecurity professionals. So even if you really want, you know so if you are into cybersecurity domain, you definitely would like to go to DEF CON conference at least once in your lifetime, and it's worth it. Like it's wow, you're just gonna it's kind of a hacking village everywhere. Thousands and thousands of hackers are there. You don't trust anyone. You will meet a lot of good people, bad people, every all kind of those people, and it's a completely different aura altogether. Okay, so that's DEF CON, and obviously it's in Las Vegas, so that adds cherry on top. In 1995, Russian hackers siphoned $10 million from Citibank and transferred that particular money into the banks around the world. Okay, in 1995 again, a movie Hacker was released. In 1999, a Melissa worm caused a large problems to the email system. Then in 2000, a VB script. So VB script was basically, you use VB script basically on Windows machine. Now I guess like VB script has been disabled in current Windows 10 operating system, but then again, if you are using older versions of Windows operating system, so you can actually run these VB script files. And there was a worm called I Love You. Um, I guess like it was done by some couple, or someone who got frustrated with their relationship or something, and they created this I love you virus worm, and insert and infected millions of computers. And it was so replicating that within few hours of it was released, it infected millions of computers. And in 2002, Bill Gates finally decided, okay, let's announce this trustworthy computing is again a very vast um, you know concept. Okay, and it was introduced by Bill Gates, and it was the whole idea of creating this was to increase the security, especially Windows really need a lot of security. In 2003, Ascal Slammer worm infected 75,000 machine in just 10 minutes. Okay. Uh, in 2005, 10 worms slowly replaced by botnets. So botnets are like one person controlling a lot of computers. So nowadays, what actually happens is that hackers, they just don't try to hack you and okay, done. earlier days it used to be like that. They created a worm, and those worms were destroying computers after computers. No, in current days, the hackers create a botnet. They try to maintain access onto your computer. So when we are going to see the Windows security part, we'll see how we can create botnet, how we can maintain you know access to that computer. And now when we actually need to attack that computer, okay, then we will start the botnet. Till then, the botnets are the one who will be sitting on that computer without making any sound or anything. And when the time comes, you can on that botnet. In 2010, a Stuxnet attacked the centrifuge. Again, it was in Iran, and it was a very sophisticated attack. It is, it was expected that it was done by some country that's like state sponsored, and it was the whole idea was to create a cyber war at that time. And when we say about nuclear war and everything, about nuclear war and everything, those things are totally outdated. I personally think that the next war that is going to come would be a cyber war. In 2013, we all know what happened with Snowden, the WikiLeaks and everything, and then all these information came into place. We then realized, okay, USA, which we call as a big brother, they fund a lot of things, a lot of bad things happen. uh, they're doing mass surveillance and all those kind of things. So you can actually go and visit WikiLeaks, and you can get a lot of information from there. In 2016, IoT botnet made huge DDoS attack with thousands of compromised devices. So all these, the cameras, the home routers, they're all what computing devices, right? Some computing things are going. So you can actually make a botnet to hack this system, right? And then again, I said like, a couple of minutes back, that you make this a silent one. When the time is right, you use this botnet to make some big attack. Now, we are almost into the last part of our session. Now, let me just go and take you a brief on Kali Linux. But before that, let me just ask, if you guys have any questions or not. So, do you guys have any questions so far? Okay, okay, I can see a couple of hands were raised. Sorry. Karan and Kishore. Okay, Kishore, I'm giving you chance to speak. Yeah, Kishore, now you are on the call. You can ask your question if you have. Okay, Kishore does not have any question. Kishore is just raising the hand. Kishore, you need to unmute the mic. If your mic is mute, or if you haven't not allowed your mic to access the website, okay, then I cannot help you. You need to give the access. Okay, in the meantime, let me just ask. I think the next person was. Okay. Okay, so everyone is saying no, no, no. Anyway, so if you guys don't have any question, shall we then move to Kali Linux? Because this is actually the fun part where we are going to see a couple of hacking tools, not in action, but we'll try to understand various hacking tools and see what we can do with them in the coming classes. So shall we move on to Kali Linux, or if someone has question? Again, Kishore raised the hand. Kishore, do you have any question? If you have any question, just feel free to type down the question on the chat box, because I guess like your mic is not working. Feel free to ask. Okay, we can move. Perfect then. Let's. If you guys don't have any question, let me just clear all my notifications. Uh, just place this somewhere. Okay, so let me just stop. So I will just stop my sharing, and I will reshare my, because I now I need to share my Kali machine, so I need to reshare everything. Let me know if you guys can you guys see my screen? You guys will be seeing a lot of mirror image. Okay, 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 perfect. Can everyone see the screen? Okay, then let's just move on to Kali Linux. So Kali Linux is basically again an operating system, and this operating system has been designed for security professionals. uh, so professionals or hackers, because this operating system has all the tools that you will need to hack. Okay, you don't really need to install anything else, but a couple of things you might need to install in later stage, but yeah, for basic thing it has everything by default when you install. So I'm basically using a virtual machine. Now I remember a couple of people asking me how to install Kali Linux on a virtual machine. I will create a video. I will share that video in the Telegram group on how you can do, and I would recommend you guys to install Kali Linux on that. And by default, the username and password are Kali Kali. So just let me know if you guys okay. Let the Kali Linux get started. Are you guys seeing my Kali machine? Are you guys able to see my? You were okay. Okay then. So let me just start with my Kali machine. So in the Kali machine, we have various tools. Okay. So while talking about hacking and all those kind of thing, we have various stages of hacking. Like we have information gathering, we have analysis of the target and all those kind of thing. And the Kali Linux has all the tools for that. So if you guys are, first the first step to hack someone or to some infrastructure is that you need to gather as much information as possible about that infrastructure or about that person. So you need couple of tools for that. So there are a lot of tools, like how you can gather the information. We'll use couple of tools in the coming classes. Now, after gathering all the information, the next objective would be to do a vulnerability analysis, whether that, what is the weak point of that system, whether what point we can actually attack. Now you have the information, you need to find out what is the weak point in that system. You do a vulnerability analysis on that, right? Based upon the information that you have gathered in information gathering stage. Next, if you are working on a web application, if you are hacking website or web application, so you need to analyze how the traffics are getting passed. Okay, for those kind of things you have again tool. I was just mentioning what SQL map. We are going to use SQL map for SQL injection attack, and but before that we'll also understand what SQL injection attacks are. Burp suite is my personally my favorite tool. I use burp suite even for the development purpose. Okay, then we have database assessment. So again, SQL map is all about you know dumping the data, dumping the database, getting the user information out of that, right? When we might have heard about that 90 million user data of Facebook was hacked, or was stolen by hackers, right? So those information are basically stored on database, right? So if database is getting hacked, so that means all these informations are gone. Okay, hackers can steal this private information. So yeah, so those database assessment is also necessary. Then we have the password attacks. We have various kind of password attacks like brute force. We can do dictionary attack and a lot of things. So there are various tools for doing those password attack. we'll definitely see these password attacks during the social engineering attack class. Then again, we have wireless attacks. This actually wireless attack tools actually makes your life very much easier to hack anyone's wireless, to hack anyone's Wi-Fi, to gather the information, to to see what the other people are browsing or not. Reverse engineering, then again, it's like, I would say, so you have a software, right? You try to create, for example, a lot of softwares need, what do I say, um, key to run, right? Otherwise, you have to pay for them. What you guys do is, a lot of people, they go and download some crack, right? You download crack, you install crack, and then your software magically works. So now all these are possible because of the reverse engineering. So what these hackers does is, they take this application, they find out how these things are getting, when you enter a key, how do they verify it, right? They based upon that, they create a small code or software code which will override these functionalities. Which will override these functionalities. Now when you install crack, they override these particular functionality of checking, and your software gets installed. So those things are possible through reverse engineering. That's one example of reverse engineering. A lot of things can happen. Even white hat hackers, they do it because they want to understand how the hack was made, or how the malware, for example, if you have ransomware, you get a ransomware, then you need to find out how this ransomware came into first place, how it is getting connected to somewhere outside, right? So those things are possible through reverse engineering. We have then exploitation tools. Again, we'll search about, we'll look into social engineering toolkit. Metasploit is something like we are going to use a lot in the entire class. It has a big database of exploit already present, and we are going to use this exploit, ready-made exploit, to hack someone's system, to hack mobile phone, to create different things. We'll see with the Metasploit. Social engineering toolkit, again, it has a lot of toolkit regarding phishing, regarding performing some different social engineering attacks. We have then a couple of other tools like sniffing and spoofing. If you want to hide about yourself, you can use Mac Changer. You can use IP spoofing tools. Sorry, yeah, IP spoofing tools. And also there are a couple of sniffing tools as well. So if you want to sniff someone's network, you can use these tools. So one of the best tool, that okay, so Wireshark is not just designed for the for hackers. It's basically designed for network analysis, for analyzing the networks. Okay, so those are things out there. Then you have a tool for post exploitation. So once the exploitation is done, now there are different objectives. Whether you want to keep maintaining your access on that system or not, or whether you just want to destroy it. So a lot of things actually depend upon what your intentions are. So a lot of post exploitation tools are like, you have a backdoor. So backdoor are kind of a malware, you can say, that you put into that system. So whenever I need to access his system, I can do that. Sometimes it's not wise to destroy it. Once you got into someone's computer, and you just think like, okay, let's just destroy, maybe at that time there's no information that you can leverage, right? So in that particular case, what you would like is, you just enter a backdoor. So whenever you need some information, you keep the outflow of information coming from that particular system. You have OS backdrop, you have web backdrop, a lot of other tools are there. Forensics, again, is a completely different segment of cybersecurity, that's called cyber forensics, where you can actually see how the hacking was made. If you get some bad softwares or all those kind of things, you can do those things. And also, if someone's computer got hacked, or some you are into cyber police, you know that a lot of computers get seized from terrorists or something. Now, the cyber forensics people, they go back, they see and they analyze the entire system. Okay, what are the information where they are stored? So even if you delete this is the, for example, if you have a file, and even if you delete that file from your system, also from your recycle bin, still cyber forensics people, okay, they can get hold of your file. So that's cyber forensics. Now reporting tools are the ones. So if you are a good hackers and you found out, like, okay, Google has a vulnerability. Now if I report this vulnerability to Google, Google is going to pay me a lot of money, right? Because they have this program, bug bounty program. But you need to create a proper report, uh, a good report, so that they can understand. So a lot of reporting tools are already present here. Okay, again, social engineering toolkit, and then you have a couple of links. So that's more or less like it. And couple, how, so Kali Linux is basically a has a Linux kernel, Unix kernel. So you will be using some Linux commands like cd, and I don't know, this command. So if you guys are not aware of this command, I would recommend you guys to go back and look into my those look into those commands. Or if you guys don't know Linux, okay, I am actually parallelly running one more class on learn Linux by hacking it, right? I guess, like, we already had two classes in that, but we are again, if you want to join those classes, you can definitely join that class as well. Those are again the free classes. Those links are not published in any Telegram group, but they're actually so when I schedule the class, you can actually come on fanmentor.com, see the class, and enroll in those classes. So that is more or less like now let me just finish this with final three tricks. So, if you want to learn cybersecurity, the whole objective is to practice as much as possible. Okay, so if you are dedicating 30% of your time on theory, I would say dedicate 70% of your time on your practical. So that's how you will be able to learn cybersecurity. Okay. I'm not gonna give you guys any challenges tonight, but from tomorrow onwards, you guys will be getting the challenges. So try to go back, try to solve those challenges, practice as much. Even if just don't look for easy answer. Okay, I can just go to this website, you can get an answer, or I can ask someone else, go and and get an answer. No, don't do that. Try to do it by yourself. You cannot succeed. Ask other people to give you hints, but not the solution, and then try to solve yourself, right? So that's exactly what you have to do throughout the program as well, and that's what I would also expect from you guys. Now, I usually recommend, there are a lot of tools already available, but I would recommend you guys to do manual attacks. That way, you will understand the how the attack is actually working. Okay, if you are doing manual attack, sorry. With the scripts, it's pretty rather simple. Like, you just have a script. You what do I say? Like, you run this script, and it does the job for you, right? Or all those softwares as well. But if you are doing manual attacks, you know what's happening. And if you have excelled in any of the programming languages, I would recommend you guys to write the scripts by yourself. That way, you will be able to learn more and more, and in a very faster way. Again, couple of hacks are not possible, by through manual ways, or the scripts are not available, or you just don't want to spend time on writing the scripts, right? Well, there are a lot of times when it makes sense. Then, in that particular case, you can use the available tools. Now, most important thing about the cybersecurity is that you should be very active in the community. I'm going to create one more group on cybersecurity. So this is the on Telegram as well. So in the current group, we just have, what do I say, this is just a channel, right, where I'm just going to post the link, and you guys cannot communicate among yourself. But here we are going to create a group, and I am going to add. I'll send you guys the link. You guys can go and join that particular group. If you guys have questions, you can ask. Engage in the community. Help other people. That way, you will also learn. You will also start learning. Also, I would recommend you guys to go and attend some cybersecurity conferences, seminars, webinar like this. Okay, and that's more or less like it. So that's more or less for this course. Now if you guys are you know if you guys are willing to take or interested in our nano degree program, or what we cover in the nano degree program, you guys can actually visit learn.findmementor.com. That is where we have this recorded, or the long course programs are there. And then there are, okay, I have this cybersecurity nano degree program. It's again a 6 months program. Uh, it's a very extensive one. You will get a lot of challenges to solve, one-on-one support, and all those kind of things are there. Okay. So that's more or less like it. I will just share this particular link with you guys, just in case you want. I'm going to send a couple of more links. Um, Kali Linux as well. Okay, so with Kali Linux, I can just share the video link with you guys, and that will do the job. So do you guys have any questions so far for me? Anyone? Anyone has question? It is required to have knowledge about programming language to get into. No, no. Look, if you know about programming languages, obviously you will do much better. But then, if you don't know programming languages, it's still fine. It's still fine. I can teach from class 7 or say 8 class students about hacking. Okay, and they don't really need to know programming languages. So definitely, it's not required. Yeah. Any more questions? Does anyone wants to speak something? I can give access to their mic. Okay. So since I'm not getting any question, I think it's or shall I just wait for a couple of 1 more minute for question answer session? Any more questions so far? Yeah, Kishore, tell me. You have some question. Kishore has question. He has raised the hand. So Kishore, you can ask your question. Let me just give you the mic access. Yeah, Kishore. Now you have the mic access. You can speak. Can we use the class links of the Kali? Can we class links of Linux? Come on. Uh, I didn't get your question. Oh, okay, okay, okay. You want to learn Kali Linux? Yeah. So the commands for the hack. Yeah. I will. Okay. In that particular case, I will actually post the link as well. Okay, I will post the link in the group itself. Okay, I'll do that in the Telegram group, obviously. Hacking necessary to learn Python, JavaScript, etc. Look, it's if you know program languages, maybe just Python is fine. Okay, Python and script, so you can automate a lot of things. But even if you don't know these program languages, still fine. You can do a lot of other things as well. All you need to have an open mind. Any more question? If you don't have question, just type no. Yeah, yeah, Raju, you don't really need to know programming. You don't really need to know programming. You don't need to worry about that. Still you can learn. Yeah, Kishore, I have already given you the mic access. You have been raising hands, spamming my notifications. Okay, then since no one has any question, let me just close the call. I have recorded the classes. This recording of the class will be available for people who has taken our cybersecurity nano degree program. If you guys want to check out about nano degree program, I'll give you share the number. You can call them and get more information about that. Any special Python learning website available, sir? Actually, with the Python programming, we have Python classes as well, live classes, and the best part is it's free. Okay, so you can take it. How much time it takes to complete the course? With this course is of 10 days course. I mean, I'm gonna teach you for 10 days. Couple of classes would be of 1.5 hour, like this one. It's actually a bit small, like less than 1.5 hour. Couple of classes will be of 2 hours of classes. But yeah, more or less that really depends upon the topic that we are covering. So you can say approximately 20 numbers. Can you give your contact number? Actually, I have already shared my details on Telegram. You guys can actually sorry, you guys can actually contact me on Telegram itself. You can just write down your questions on Telegram to me. Yeah. Any more question for Python? Python class, I am going to give you. I'm going. So whenever I schedule that particular class, I'm going to share that class with you guys. But remember one thing, like with the classes are like with the Python classes and these classes are like, at least if there are like 10 or 15 students who has enrolled in the class, only then the classes happen. So you guys need to share as much as possible to make those classes happen. You guys can request for the classes. You guys can talk to your friends, ask them to join the classes, and then I can schedule that the class on that particular topic. Okay, any more question? No question. So final one request, I would guys, so guys, we are a startup, and I would guys request you guys to support us. Share the word of Find Me Mentor. Share the the free classes that we are taking with your friends. If anyone wants to come and teach on our platform, they can come and teach on our platform. You can ask your teachers to take classes from our platform. It's free. There are no hidden charges. If someone wants to earn from our platform, it's still possible. Yeah, do like, and also if you haven't downloaded our app, so we have an app from where you can learn anything in just 60 seconds. Learn something new in 60 seconds. So just go to the Google Play Store and type Find Me Mentor. You will get that particular app. Download the app. Tell us how you like the app. Also, if you guys have any review for me, if you guys want me to change my teaching style or something, feel free to message me on Telegram. My contact details is already present. My name is Prashant Kumar De. and my details are already mentioned there. Feel free to to communicate with me on that. Okay. Thanks a lot, guys. See you tomorrow in the next class. Bye.